Good morning to you all and welcome in the third class on sex offences. In continuation with the previous class in which we have discussed the procedure of medico-legal examination of a survivor of sexual assault, in this class we will discuss the other two important part, that is collection of physical evidences following examination and opinion framing. How will you give your opinion after examination of such cases of sexual assault? So starting with the specimens preserved for laboratory examination after examination procedure is completed. Now whatever the specimens we have to preserve, it is to be handed over to the police person maintaining chain of custody. Chain of custody means from the point of its collection or point from the point when it is found till it is deposited in the court of law as an evidence. So whatever the specimens you will preserve during examination, you have to pack it, label it, sign it and seal it and hand it over to the escorting police person for onward transmission to State Forensic Science Laboratory for necessary examination we will discuss here. So what are the specimens you will preserve? So after examination, assess whatever specimen you need to preserve for a particular case. Now whatever the specimen you will preserve should not be the same in each and every case. So specimen collection depends upon nature of assault. For example, whether there is an alleged history of vaginal intercourse, or whether it is an alleged history of oral intercourse or sodomy, anal intercourse. So your specimen will vary accordingly. So nature of sexual assault, time lapsed between the assault and examination. This is also very important. Whether it is the case is a fresh case, that means reported as early as possible within 24, 48 or within 96 hours or after 96 hours, like that. So time lapsed between the alleged incident and medical examination, and if the person has bathed or washed herself since the assault. So considering the factors, you decide what are the specimens you need to preserve in the particular case. As per the guideline given by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, they have mentioned clearly that if a woman reports within 96 hours, that means within 4 days of the alleged assault, all evidences including swabs must be collected based on the nature of sexual assault you are getting. Though, please remember, the chances of getting the evidences after 72 hours is greatly reduced. However, they have suggested that it is better to collect the evidence up to 96 hours in case of survivor may be unsure regarding the numbers passed following the sexual assault. তার পুরোপুরি একদম 96 আওয়ার্স কাটায় কাটায় নাও মনে থাকতে পারে, তাই জন্য বলছে আপ টু 96 আওয়ার্স অবধি you should preserve all the specimens I will mention here in a particular case. তারপর কি specimen করবে সেটাও আমরা ডিসকাস করব. So all the specimens I will discuss here should be preserved within 90 if the woman reported within 96 hours following the sexual assault. তাহলে কি specimen আমরা preserve করব? দেখো, first is clothing. Ask whether it is the same clothing that was worn during the time of incident. If it is the same, then it should be preserved in the manner I have discussed in the last class. Clothing should be examined for presence of any foreign hair, any stain or tear, and it should be packed separately in a paper bag after air drying. So clothing. Next is scraping of blood stains or dried seminal stains wherever present on the body. ঠিক আছে, যেখানে যেখানেই ধরো dried blood stain রয়েছে বা seminal stain রয়েছে, you should preserve it. You can scrape it, the dried blood stain or seminal stain, and preserve it. It should be looked for blood grouping and DNA. So scraping of dried blood stains or seminal stains present on the body of the survivor. Third is The same scraping of the dried seminal stain, it is also for grouping and DNA. Next is the hair. Coming to the pubic hair, again I am mentioning if the pubic hairs are matted, you should cut it, otherwise comb the loose pubic hairs along with control specimen of scalp hair should be preserved as a control specimen. Next is nail cuttings and scrapings. So under the nail beds you may get the fiber of any cloth, hair, blood stain, skin epithelial cells, like that. So and it should be matched with the DNA profile of the accused or the assailant of the particular case. So nail scrapings and cuttings another important thing. Next, if any bite mark is present over the body, it should be swabbed for grouping, or bite mark impression can be taken and it can be matched with the assailant. Next, important thing, blood. Now you have to preserve blood in 4 containers. One container for blood grouping and drug estimation. Another container for alcohol estimation if there is an alleged history of sexual assault under the effect of any drug or alcohol. So in that case, you have to preserve blood for alcohol also. One specimen of blood is required for DNA, and another last specimen is required for to rule out any sexually transmitted infection. So grouping and drug, alcohol, DNA and VDRL, HIV, HBsAg. কটা ভায়ালে কিরকম করে নেবে? Take a plain vial. Plain vial for blood grouping and drug estimation. 2 ml of blood can be given in the plain vial, that means without EDTA, non-EDTA vial. তাতে 2 ml blood দাও, that should be sent for blood grouping and drug estimation. Next, sodium fluoride vial, তার মধ্যে 2 ml blood দাও, that should be sent for estimation of alcohol. So sodium fluoride vial for alcohol. Next, EDTA vial for DNA, 2 ml blood in the EDTA vial for DNA. Another plain vial for HIV, HBsAg and VDRL. তাহলে 4টে ভায়াল, তার মধ্যে 2টো প্লেন ভায়াল, একটা EDTA ভায়াল, একটা সোডিয়াম ফ্লুরাইড ভায়াল। ক্লিয়ার? One plain vial for drug estimation and grouping, another plain vial for sexually transmitted infection, EDTA vial for DNA and sodium fluoride vial for alcohol. You have to take. Next, saliva generally রাখা হয় না, তাও রাখতে পারো to know the secretor status. Next is vaginal aspirate. 2 ml of normal saline injected into the posterior fornix of the vagina and retrieved back and marked as a vaginal aspirate that can be checked for motility of sperms. Last is swabs. Swabs should be taken depending upon the type of intercourse, whether it is an anal intercourse, oral intercourse or vaginal intercourse. Now in cases of a vaginal intercourse, swabs should be taken obviously from vagina or around the vagina. তাহলে নেওয়ার সময় প্রথমে কি করতে হবে? The swabs, the tip of the swab should be moistened with distilled water. Now collections of swabs in cases of a vaginal intercourse will be divided into 2. One is from outside the vagina, another is from inside the vagina, that is the vaginal swabs and smears. তাহলে দুটো ভাগে ভাগ করলাম, একটা আউটসাইড ভেজাইনা। আউটসাইড ভেজাইনা থেকে আমরা কোথা থেকে সোয়াব নেব? ফ্রম দ্য ভালভা। প্রথমটা নেব হচ্ছে গিয়ে ভালভা থেকে, দ্বিতীয়টা নেব আমরা মিডিয়াল অ্যাসপেক্ট অফ থাই থেকে, 3 নম্বরটা নেব আমরা পেরিনিয়াম রিজিয়ন থেকে, আর 4 নম্বরটা নেব আমরা পিউবিক রিজিয়ন থেকে। So vulva, medial aspect of thigh, perineum and pubic region. Consider the vaginal swabs and smears. After vaginal aspirate has been taken, 2 vaginal swabs and 2 smears should be prepared from the vaginal swabs. তাহলে vaginal swabs কোথা থেকে নেব? So after examination of the hymen, we should take a low vaginal swab. Next, after inserting the speculum, we should take a high vaginal swab. দুটো vaginal swab নিলাম, one is high vaginal swab and another is the low vaginal swab. Cervical swab from cervical canal, কোন ক্ষেত্রে important? Taken in all cases, especially if the offense was committed more than 48 hours. তাহলে জেনারেলি সেক্ষেত্রে আমাদের সার্ভিক্সের থেকে সোয়াব নেওয়ার ইম্পর্টেন্স এসে যায় when the duration is more than 48 hours. Similarly, depending upon the other type of intercourse, you should take the swabs from the respective area, just like vaginal swabs and smears, and prepare 2 smears from vaginal swabs. Now, swabs must be air dried before packing. If it is not immediately handed over to the police, মানে পুলিশ যদি সঙ্গে সঙ্গে নিয়ে না যায়, তাহলে it should be refrigerated to prevent decomposition of the stain. তাহলে যদি সঙ্গে সঙ্গে তুমি এটাকে FSL এ সেন্ড না করো বা পুলিশ যদি সঙ্গে সঙ্গে নিয়ে না যায়, then it should be refrigerated. Ideally, it should be handed over to the police immediately after collection. কিন্তু কোনো কারণে যদি না নিয়ে যেতে পারে পুলিশ, সেক্ষেত্রে you have to keep it in the refrigerator to prevent decomposition. But before packing, it must be air dried. Clear? So this is about the swabs and other specimens required to be preserved following an alleged history of sexual assault if the woman reports within 96 hours. Now, after 96 hours, ধরো 96 ঘন্টা পেরিয়ে গেছে, woman has bathed or changed the clothes, then what are the specimens you need to preserve? তাহলে সেক্ষেত্রে our direction will be directed mostly to detect the presence of any sexually transmitted infection. So clothing has no importance. Nail cuttings and scrapings, ideally you should get nothing following washing or hand washing or bathing, but vaginal swab smears also should give a negative result. তাহলে এই ক্ষেত্রে after 96 hours our direction is mostly directed towards the detection of any sexually transmitted infection and its presence in the assailant to act as an corroborative sign of sexual contact between the assailant and the survivor. সেক্ষেত্রে you should preserve blood for sexually transmitted infection, obviously. কিন্তু বাকিগুলোর specimen preservation এর ক্ষেত্রে আর importance থাকে না. That's why it is said that with the progression of time you will lose the physical evidences. তাই time is very important for medical examination and sample collection. যত time lose করবে following the alleged incident, তাহলে ততই আমরা কিন্তু physical evidence কে loss করতে থাকবো. সে স্নান করে নিয়েছে, পরিষ্কার করে ফেলেছে নিজেকে, তাহলে তুমি এক্ষেত্রে কি এক্সপেক্ট করবে? ভ্যাজাইনাল সোয়াব স্মিয়ার্স নিয়েও কোনো রেজাল্ট আসবে না, বিকজ নর্মাল প্রসিডিওরে মেকানিক্যাল ড্রেনেজ বা ফিজিওলজিক্যাল ডাইলিউশন বা ডিগ্রেডেশনে স্পার্মাটোজোয়াগুলো নষ্ট হয়ে যাবে, ওয়াশ করলে সেগুলো আরো চলে যাবে। তাহলে সেক্ষেত্রে তুমি কি স্পেসিমেন প্রিজার্ভ করবে? তখন তোমার ডাইরেকশন কিন্তু মেনলি টুয়ার্ডস দ্য presence of any sexually transmitted infection as a corroborative sign of sexual contact between the assailant and the survivor, সেটাই কিন্তু তোমাকে প্রিজার্ভ করতে হবে। নেক্সট কামিং টু দ্য শর্ট নোট, পরীক্ষায় আসতে পারে রেপ কিট। এখানে দেখতে পাচ্ছ অনেক কিছু জিনিসপত্রের ছবি রয়েছে। সো হোয়াট ইজ রেপ কিট? So these are the set of items used by the medical person বা doctors for collecting and preserving physical evidences following an allegation of sexual assault. তার মানে during examination of sexual assault cases ডাক্তার যে যে জিনিসগুলো ব্যবহার করে তারই একটা মানে সেটাকে সমস্ত কিছুটাকে যেটা একটা প্যাকেটের মধ্যে থাকবে সেটাকেই বলা হয়ে থাকে রেপ কিট। It is also called as safe kit or sexual assault forensic evidence kit অথবা PARC physical evidence recovery kit, PARC kit নয় কিন্তু only PARC physical evidence recovery kit, safe kit অথবা PARC অথবা Vitulo kit as it is developed by Louis Vitulo. So containing the sets of items used by the doctor during sample collection of survivor examination or accused examination in an alleged case of sexual assault. So safe kit or PARC or Vitulo kit or rape kit অনেকগুলো নামে এটা পরিচিত। কি থাকে এর মধ্যে? Detailed instruction manual for collection of specimens, a clean sheet of white paper থাকে, form for documentation, দুটো ব্যাগ থাকে, one for outer clothing another for undergarment, debris collection for nail scrapings, nail cutters and envelopes থাকে, comb থাকে for pubic hair combing, অনেকগুলো এনভেলপ থাকে, তার সঙ্গে লেবেলস থাকে অ্যান্ড বক্স থাকে, গ্লাস স্লাইডস থাকে, কটন টিপ সোয়াবস থাকে ফর কালেকশন অফ ভেজাইনাল, রেক্টাল, oral swabs and glass slides for preparing smears, distilled water or water for injection যেটা বলা হয় সেটা থাকে, paper disc and envelope for saliva sample, blood vials or vacuum with syringe and needle for blood collection, anatomical drawing, charts and labels for labeling the injuries present on the parts of the body. Apart from that, there is a scissor, sealing, wax, gloves, urine container, clean clothes for survivor after examination when you preserve the clothes. তাহলে আরেকটা সেট অফ কাপড়ও দেওয়া থাকে. So it varies depending upon the branding of the rape kit, but this is overall the items present inside a rape kit. এবার এগুলো ছাড়া কি তুমি পরীক্ষা করতে পারবে না? রেপ কিট ছাড়া ইউ ক্যান প্রিপেয়ার এট ইউর ওন হসপিটাল। তোমার হসপিটালে একটা কাঁচি, একটা নেল কাটার, একটা কুম, তুমি লেবেলস, গ্লাভস, সোয়াবস, মিয়ার্স, ইনজেকশনস সবই এগুলো আছে, তোমাকে সেটা আলাদা আলাদা করে নিয়ে রাখতে হবে। অথবা ইউ ক্যান ইউজ দ্য সেট ফর কনভিনিয়েন্স অফ ইউর এক্সামিনেশন। কিন্তু সবকটাই তুমি নিজেই অ্যারেঞ্জ করে রাখতে পারো, এমন নয় তোমাকে এটা সাপ্লাই চাইতে হবে, এটা ছাড়া পরীক্ষা করা যাবে না রেপ কিট ছাড়া। কিন্তু এটা তুমি কিনে নিলে তোমাকে আর আলাদা করে আর কিছু খাতরাতে হবে না পরীক্ষার সময়, ওই সেটের মধ্যেই তুমি সবকিছু পেয়ে যাচ্ছ। So after sample collection, now we are entering to the most important part from the doctor's point of view, that is the opinion framing after examination of the survivor or victim of sexual assault. তুমি এক্সামিনেশন করে নিয়েছো, স্যাম্পল কালেকশন হয়ে গেছে, এবার তোমাকে ওপিনিয়ন দিতে হবে যে কি হয়েছে না হয়েছে। এই জায়গাটা একটু ভালো করে বুঝবে। সো ইট উইল রিকোয়ার থ্রু আউট ইউর প্রফেশনাল লাইফ। এই জায়গাটা একটু বুঝে বুঝে আমরা যাব, একটু স্লোলি যাব। সো ওপিনিয়ন ফ্রেমিং আফটার এক্সামিনেশন অফ সার্ভাইভার অর দ্য সেক্সুয়াল অ্যাসল্ট কেসেস। The report of the doctor should contain both positive and negative findings. Generally, we don't mention negative findings, but in this case, we have to mention certain negative findings also to frame our opinion. That the report of the doctor should contain both positive as well as negative findings. In the report, the doctor must state precisely the reason for each conclusion arrived. তুমি যা opinion দিচ্ছ, why you are framing such an opinion, you have to give a precise reason as stated in the 164A CRPC. আমি এই opinionটা দিয়েছি based on the following findings. You have to give your specific opinion. Another important thing is that doctors should never make a diagnosis of rape. You should not mention in your report that whether rape has occurred or not. Why so? Rape is an allegation that will be decided in the court of law. So rape is actually a legal definition, not a medical diagnosis. তোমাদের আগেই বলেছিলাম যে পরীক্ষায় জিজ্ঞেস করে explain why rape is a legal definition, not a medical diagnosis. It is an allegation that yet to be decided in the court of law. So you should never mention whether rape has occurred or not in your medical report. And তোমার রিপোর্টে কি থাকবে? Your opinion should be based on the followings. What are those followings? With any signs of sexual intercourse, any signs of sexual intercourse, or any signs of forceful sexual intercourse, or presence of other bodily injuries, any evidence of intoxication, any evidence of sexually transmitted infection, or any evidence regarding pregnancy. So the opinion of the doctor should touch the following findings: evidence of sexual intercourse or forceful sexual intercourse, or presence of other bodily injury, detection of pregnancy, sexually transmitted infection, and evidence as to intoxication. তোমার রিপোর্টের মধ্যে এই পয়েন্টগুলো তুমি টাচ করবে। But you should never opine whether rape has occurred or not. একটা কথা মাথায় রাখো, Normal examination findings neither refute nor confirm forceful sexual intercourse. Normal examination finding mane ki? There is no physical injury, there is no genital injury, laboratory examination report is negative. That is the normal examination. A normal examination finding neither refute nor confirm forceful sexual intercourse. কেন আমরা আসছি? So apart from your report, that is the medical report on examination of sexual assault cases, circumstantial evidence or other form of evidences should also be taken into consideration. তাহলে এক্ষেত্রে তোমার রিপোর্টটাই যে 100% সবকিছু ঠিক করে দেবে তা নয়, স্পেশালি ইন লেট কেসেস, যেখানে লেট কেসে এক্সামিনেশন হচ্ছে সেখানে তোমার রিপোর্টটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি কোনো মানে অ্যাকচুয়ালি ইম্পর্টেন্সই রাখে না, বিকজ ফিজিক্যাল এভিডেন্স তুমি কিছুই পাবে না সেক্সুয়াল ইন্টারকোর্স বা সেক্সুয়াল অ্যাসল্টের। তা সেক্ষেত্রে তোমার রিপোর্ট দেওয়া না দেওয়া একই, বাট অ্যাজ আ কাস্টম উই হ্যাভ টু এক্সামিন। But even in fresh cases, you are getting no injury, the laboratory result is also negative, then also it neither confirm nor refute the forceful sexual intercourse or sexual assault. কেন? Absence of injuries or negative laboratory result may be due to various reasons. কি কি রিজন হতে পারে? তাহলে we should consider 3 points. One is no genital injury, no physical injury and negative laboratory result. তাই তো? So what are the reasons behind the negative genital injury though actually the sexual assault has taken place? তার মানে সেক্সুয়াল অ্যাসল্ট হয়েছে কিন্তু জেনিটালিয়াতে কোনো ইনজুরি নেই। কি কারণে হতে পারে? ফার্স্ট অফ অল একটা কথা মাথায় রাখবে, if there is no disproportion in the size of the vaginal introitus and the inserting object, there will be no injury. ইনজুরি কখন প্রডিউস হয়? ওভার স্ট্রেচিং এর জন্য। So until and unless there is a gross disproportion in the size between the vagina or in cases of anal intercourse between the anus and the inserting object, whether it is penis or any other thing, ততক্ষণ পর্যন্ত কিন্তু ইনজুরির চান্স থাকছে না। For example, using a finger or inserting an object inside the vagina or the anus with a lubricant. The lubricant ইউজ করলে কিন্তু চান্স অফ ইনজুরি অনেক কমে যাচ্ছে। So use of lubricant, use of finger, or whenever the inserting object not in disproportion of the size between the vagina and the anus. And lastly, delayed reporting leading to healing of the genital injuries. লেট কেসে তুমি এক্সামিনেশন করছো, জেনিটালিয়াতে ইনজুরি ছিল হয়তো কিন্তু সেটা হিল করে গেছে, এখন আর কোনো ইনজুরি নেই, ব্রুস ছিল সেটা ডিসঅ্যাপিয়ার করে গেছে, সেক্ষেত্রে তুমি কিছুই দেখতে পাচ্ছ না। So no genital injury or no anal injury may be because of use of finger or insertion of object with lubrication, or no disproportion in the size between the inserting object and the vagina, and delayed reporting leading to healing of the injuries. Clear? Next, no physical injury. Physical injury নেই মানেটা কি? That means inability of the survivor to offer resistance to the assailant. Physical injury নেই মানে এটাকে আমরা আরেকটা ভাবে ধরে নিতে পারি, the survivor did not offer any resistance during the act. সেটা কি কি কারণে হতে পারে? Number 1, during the time of the act the survivor was unconscious, অজ্ঞান হয়েছিল, so she was not in a position to offer resistance. অথবা she was raped under the effect of a drug or alcohol, so under the effect of date rape drugs. শর্ট নোট আসে পরীক্ষার জন্য, তৈরি করে রাখবে, ডেট রেপ ড্রাগস or drugs facilitating sexual assault, drugs facilitating sexual assault or date rape drugs. তাহলে either she was unconscious or under the effect of any drug or alcohol, or she may be overpowered by the assailant, or she may be threatened of dire consequences or harm, or sometimes emotional manipulation as described in section 376 subsection 2. That means rape caused by a man in a position of trust and authority. So emotional manipulation, and also delayed reporting leading to healing of injuries. ছিল হয়তো ইনজুরি কিন্তু সেগুলো হিল করে গেছে. So these are the reasons behind no genital injury and no physical injury. Still it is a case of sexual assault. এবার ল্যাবরেটরি রেজাল্ট, তার মানে তুমি ল্যাবরেটরিতে স্পেসিমেন পাঠিয়েছো, considering especially the vaginal swabs and scans I am speaking about, but the result is negative one. কোনো কিছু পাওয়া যায়নি. কি কারণ হতে পারে? Obviously delayed reporting leading to loss of the physical evidences of seminal fluid from the vagina due to physiological dilution, degradation, mechanical drainage. So delayed reporting, or menstruation, menstrual blood বেরোনোর সাথে সাথে washing out the physical evidences of sexual assault. So menstruation, activities after the sexual act, that is urinating, washing the area, taking a bath, changing clothes or douching, which all can lead to loss of physical evidences. Next, use of condom by the assailant, or vasectomy status of the assailant, or diseases of the vas. So in that case you will not get the spermatozoa, but you can detect the component of the semen. So vasectomy or diseases of the vas. And lastly, intercourse করলেই যে ejaculation হবে তার তো কোনো মানে নেই. So intercourse without ejaculation, or ejaculation taken place outside the genitalia. তাহলে সেক্ষেত্রে তুমি জেনিটালিয়া থেকে স্যাম্পল নিয়ে কিছুই পাচ্ছ না. So delayed reporting, menstruation, activities after the act, use of condom, diseases of the vas, intercourse without ejaculation or ejaculation outside genitalia, all can lead to a negative laboratory result. So that's why it is stated that normal examination finding neither refute nor confirm sexual assault or sexual violence. তাহলে এই সমস্ত সিচুয়েশন গুলোকে আমাকে কনসিডার করতে হবে while giving an opinion. তার মানে তুমি বলতে পারো না যে মহিলার কোনো ফিজিক্যাল ইনজুরি নেই বা যে মহিলার কোনো জেনিটাল ইনজুরি নেই, ল্যাবরেটরি রেজাল্ট ইজ অলসো নেগেটিভ, তাকে সেক্সুয়াল অ্যাসল্ট করা হয়নি. Clear? So that is why rape is a legal definition, not a medical diagnosis. Whether the sexual intercourse was consensual, whether the sexual intercourse was non-consensual, against the act, it cannot be decided by the medical examination. Medical examination can detect only evidence of sexual intercourse, especially the recent sexual intercourse, forceful sexual intercourse, or other bodily injuries present on the body. But negative result never rules out the possibility of sexual violence. Clear? Police in his requisition generally asked this type of question to the medical officer. কি question করে? Whether there are any injuries present over external genitalia or over extragenital body parts of the victim or the survivor. এই কোয়েশ্চেনটাকে অন্যভাবে ফ্রেম করতে পারে, whether there is any sign suggestive of recent sexual intercourse or forceful sexual intercourse. Question number 2, whether there is any evidence of sexually transmitted infection or venereal disease. Question number 3, any evidence as to consumption or under the influence of any drug or alcohol. Whether she is pregnant. আর লাস্টে একটা কোয়েশ্চেন মানে একটা পয়েন্ট অ্যাড করে দেয় ওরা, এনি আদার পয়েন্ট অফ ইন্টারেস্ট। পুলিশ যদি এই কোয়েশ্চেনগুলো করে তাহলেও আমাকে ওপিনিয়ন তো দিতেই হচ্ছে এই পয়েন্টগুলোর ওপরে। ইভেন ইফ দ্য পুলিশ ইজ নট গিভিং দ্য রিকুইজিশন, দ্য ওমেন ইজ কামিং ডাইরেক্টলি টু ইউ, ইউর ওপিনিয়ন শুড বি বেসড অন দিস ফলোইং পয়েন্টস। এর মধ্যে আমরা কোয়েশ্চেন 1টা ডিসকাস করব, 3 ডিসকাস করব, 4 ডিসকাস করব। কোয়েশ্চেন নাম্বার 2টা আমরা অ্যাকিউজড এর ওপিনিয়ন যখন দেবো সেই ক্ষেত্রে একসাথে আমরা ডিসকাস করে দেবো, বিকজ দ্য আনসার উইল বি দ্য সেম। ঠিক আছে? So coming to the answer of the question number 1, whether there are any injuries present over external genitalia or over extragenital body parts, or whether there is any sign suggestive of recent sexual intercourse or forceful sexual intercourse. তাহলে এই কোশ্চেনটা যখন আমরা আনসার দেবো, we will divide our opinion into two parts. দেখো, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare তাদের গাইডলাইনে divided the opinion into two parts. One is provisional opinion, another is the final opinion. Provisional opinion, that means the immediately after examination the opinion you are giving is the provisional opinion, and final opinion means after getting the reports of laboratory examination from state FSL. Now many of the cases we don't get any report from the state FSL. তাই জন্য I will recommend that whenever you are mentioning your opinion, you should mention it as an opinion only, not provisional, not final in your report following initial examination. যদি ভেজাইনাল সোয়াব স্মিয়ারের রিপোর্ট পাও বা অন্যান্য কিছু রিপোর্ট তোমার কাছে আসে, তখন তুমি সেটাকে আবার ওপিনিয়ন বলে একটা লিখে দেবে। কিন্তু এখানে I will suggest that you should mention it as an opinion rather than mentioning a provisional opinion. So answering to the question number 1, evidence of recent sexual intercourse or forceful sexual intercourse. এটার জন্য আমরা যে ইনজুরি রয়েছে তার পসিবিলিটি কি হতে পারে, একটা হচ্ছে গিয়ে ফিজিক্যাল ইনজুরি, একটা হচ্ছে গিয়ে জেনিটাল ইনজুরি। এই দুটো ক্যাটাগরিতে আমরা ইনজুরিকে ভাগ করি, ঠিক আছে? সো ওয়ান এন্টিটি ইজ দ্য ফিজিক্যাল ইনজুরি, অ্যানাদার এন্টিটি ইজ দ্য জেনিটাল ইনজুরি। এবার চারটে পসিবিলিটি হতে পারে, দেয়ার মে বি 4 possibilities. Possibility number 1, in one case both the genital injury and the physical injury is present. Possibility number 2, genital injury is present but physical injury is absent. Possibility number 3, genital injury is absent but physical injury is present. And possibility number 4, both injuries are absent. That means no injury either over the external genitalia or over the extragenital body parts. এই চারটে সিচুয়েশন হতে পারে এক্সামিনেশনের সময়। তাহলে এই চারটে সিচুয়েশন হলে কোন সিচুয়েশন হলে আমরা কি ওপিনিয়ন দেব? সো সিচুয়েশন নাম্বার 1, genital injuries present, physical injuries also present. দুটো ইনজুরি প্রেজেন্ট রয়েছে। দেখো আমরা কি ওপিনিয়ন দিচ্ছি, ওপিনিয়ন দিচ্ছি there are signs suggestive of recent forceful penetration of vagina or anal intercourse এর ক্ষেত্রে হলে anus. So there are signs suggestive of recent forceful penetration of vagina. Sexual intercourse and sexual violence cannot be ruled out. Sexual intercourse and sexual violence cannot be ruled out. Clear? There are signs suggestive of recent forceful penetration বলছি। কেন intercourse বলছি না? Because we are not mentioning as the evidence of intercourse because evidence of semen or spermatozoa is yet to be tested by laboratory examination in case of penile penetration. তাহলে penile penetration হলে তার এভিডেন্স আমরা ইন্টারকোর্স তখনই বলতে পারবো যখন we are getting the evidence for presence of semen or spermatozoa, তবে তো সেটাকে আমি ইন্টারকোর্স বলতে পারবো, নইলে কিন্তু আমি ইন্টারকোর্স বলতে পারছি না। But physical injury is present, genital injury is present, that's why we are mentioning there are signs suggestive of recent forceful penetration of vagina. Sexual intercourse and violence cannot be ruled out. Clear? Point number 2, genital injuries are present but physical injuries are absent. Genitalia injury রয়েছে but physically কোনো গায়ে অন্য apart from genitalia there is no injuries present. সেটা কি হতে পারে? ওপিনিয়ন, সেই একই ওপিনিয়ন দেবো। As genital injury is present, our opinion should be the same. There are signs suggestive of recent forceful penetration of the vagina or anus. Sexual violence or sexual intercourse cannot be ruled out. Now why we are mentioning the penetration not intercourse? Yet again the component of the semen yet to be tested by laboratory examination, তখনই আমরা সেটাকে intercourse বলতে পারবো। What are the possibilities of not getting physical injury? You have your explanation. She may be unconscious, she may be raped during the under the effect of a drug or alcohol, or she may be emotionally manipulated or overpowered or তাহলে এই সমস্ত ক্ষেত্রে কিন্তু we will get a negative physical injury but genital injury is present, still it is a case of sexual assault. তাহলে এক্সপ্লানেশনটা তোমাকে মাথায় রাখতে হবে। কোর্টে যদি তোমাকে জিজ্ঞেস করে ফিজিক্যাল ইনজুরি নেই ডাক্তার বাবু, তাহলে কি এটা আপনি বলতে পারবেন সেক্সুয়াল অ্যাসল্ট হয়েছে কি হয়নি? Your answer will be sexual assault. Possibility of sexual assault cannot be ruled out. Clear? Because negative physical injuries depends upon the following circumstances what we have mentioned just before. So genital injury is present, physical injury is absent, opinion is same. There are signs suggestive of recent forceful penetration of the vagina. Sexual violence or sexual assault or sexual intercourse cannot be ruled out. Situation number 3. Genital injuries are absent, physical injuries are present. So what will be your opinion? Genitalia কোনো ইনজুরি নেই, তাহলে কি তুমি বলতে পারবে যে পেনিট্রেশন হয়েছে কিনা? না, you cannot say. But your opinion should be there are signs of use of force. Injury করতে গেলে মেকানিক্যাল ইনজুরির জন্য force is an integral part. So obviously application of force is present on the body. So there are signs of use of force. However, vaginal, oral or anal penetration or sexual intercourse or sexual assault cannot be ruled out. There are signs of use of force on the body during examination. However, possibility of vaginal intercourse or sexual assault cannot be ruled out. Clear? What are the reasons behind the negative genital injury? You know that whenever insertion of the object with lubricant, use of finger, or there is no disproportion in the size between the penis and the inserting object, there will be no genital injury. So in that case, it is a case of actually a sexual assault, but you will not get the genital injury. Clear? But it does not rule out the possibility of sexual assault. But physical injury apart from sexual assault অনেক কারণে হতে পারে, পড়ে গিয়ে হতে পারে। So in that case you cannot say that it is a case of sexual assault. So possibility of sexual assault cannot be ruled out, but there are signs suggestive of use of force on the body of the survivor during examination. And lastly, genital injury is absent, physical injuries are also absent. তাহলে সেক্ষেত্রে তুমি কি ওপিনিয়ন দেবে? কোনো ইনজুরি নেই, there are no sign of use of force on the body of the survivor during examination. However, sexual violence or sexual intercourse cannot be ruled out. Genital injury ও নেই, physical injury নেই, তাহলে কি তুমি sexual assault এর possibility বা sexual intercourse এর possibility rule out করতে পারো? You cannot rule out. That sexual intercourse may be consensual sexual intercourse at the time of the act. তাহলে সেক্ষেত্রেও ইনজুরি চান্স না থাকতে পারে, ফিজিক্যাল ইনজুরি নাও পেতে পারে, জেনিটাল ইনজুরিও পাবে না। But you cannot say that it was the possibility of consensual sexual intercourse is there. So genital injury is absent, physical injury is absent. It does not rule out sexual assault because you know what are the reasons behind the negative genital injury, negative physical injury. So there is no sign of use of force on the body. However, the possibility of sexual violence or intercourse cannot be ruled out. Clear? তাহলে whether any evidence of recent sexual intercourse or forceful sexual intercourse কে আমরা depending upon the force situation we will prepare our opinion in this way. Now whenever you are mentioning any injury present either over the external genitalia or over the external genital body parts, তাহলে সেই ইনজুরিটা কি টাইপের ইনজুরি? অ্যাব্রেশন, ব্রুজ, ল্যাসারেশন। তারপর কমেন্ট করতে হবে তোমাকে whether it's a simple injury or a grievous injury. And this opinion should be based clearly on the findings of your clinical examination. But never hesitate to take the help of a suitable radiological examination. For example, over an extremity you are getting a swelling along with tenderness, you are suspecting underlying fracture may be there, so obviously you should take the help of an X-ray examination. Sometimes second examination is also important, considering the concept of delayed bruising or coming out bruise. So in that case, you may suspect that there may be a bruise, but you are not getting in during the initial examination. So you should ask the survivor to come after 2 or 3 days later of the initial examination. Similarly, if the survivor is menstruating during the time of examination, apart from noting the physical examination, for noting the genital examination, you should ask the survivor to come after the stoppage of menstrual bleeding. Sometimes you may encounter a case referred from a lower center to your hospital as a higher center, and when the injury is actually sutured. So in that case, you cannot comment on the nature of the injury, whether the injury was an incised wound or whether the injury was a lacerated wound. In that case, you should mention that as the injury number such is sutured, it is not possible for me to comment on the nature and other details of the injury. Hence, the IO, that means the investigating officer, is requested to collect the said details from the doctor who examined and sutured the wound. That doctor is in the best position to opine the nature of the injury. But if you are getting injury, so you should mention the injury along with the whether it's a simple or grievous injury. How did the injury occur? কিরম করে ইনজুরিটা হতে পারে? For example, you are getting a scratch abrasion. What are the possibilities behind the scratch abrasion? You have to mention. And along with that, age of the injury is very important. যখনই তুমি একটা ইনজুরি লিখছো, তার হিলিং স্টেজ থেকে you have to give an idea regarding the age of the injury. Why it is important? It helps to determine whether the time since infliction of injury is corroborating with the history of the particular case. For example, you are getting an abrasion. So whether it is scabbed or non-scabbed, if it is scabbed, what is the color of the scab? If it is a bruise, gradual color changes of the bruise, obviously in a fair complexioned individual, not in a possible in dark complexioned individual. সেক্ষেত্রে তোমাকে কিন্তু age of injury সম্বন্ধে কমেন্ট করতে হচ্ছে and to opine whether it is corroborating with the particular history stated by the survivor. Clear? So this is about the question number 1. Question number 2 টা ছিল detection of any sexually transmitted infection, যেটা আমরা accused এর opinion যখন বলবো সেক্ষেত্রে আমরা ডিসকাস করব. Question number 3. Evidence of consumption or under the influence of any drug or alcohol. Now, in the history, the survivor may report to the police or to you that I was raped during deep sleep, or I may be drugged, or the assailant offered me a particular drink. After that, I can't remember anything, but I am suspecting I may be sexually assaulted. So in that case, you have to give your opinion regarding the evidence of consumption or under the influence of any drug or alcohol. So here also 3 situations may arise. Situation number 1. History of drug or alcohol ingestion is there. The survivor is stating that there is a history of ingestion of alcohol or a particular drug and showing signs of inebriation by the drug or alcohol during the time of examination. Signs of inebriation. কি ফর্মে দেখবে? For example, smell of alcohol is coming from the mouth of the survivor. Conjunctival congestion is present. Dilatation of pupil is there, but with normal reaction to light, normal muscular coordination. So in that case, you will opine that signs suggestive of ingestion of alcohol or drug, but the survivor is not under the influence of drug or alcohol at the time of examination. Final opinion is kept reserved till receipt of FSL report. কি পাঠিয়েছো তুমি? You have sent blood for grouping and drug estimation and also for alcohol estimation. Plain vial for drug estimation and sodium fluoride vial for alcohol estimation. তাহলে তুমি কি দেখলে? Smell of alcohol is coming, conjunctival congestion is there, pupil is dilated but normally reacting to light, and there is no muscular incoordination, there is no slurred speech, there is no staggering gait. Patient can walk normally, no staggering gait, normal muscular coordination is present. So your opinion is that there is signs suggestive of ingestion of alcohol or drug because smell is coming. Conjunctival congestion is present. Pupil is dilated to certain extent. But the subject or the survivor is not under the influence of drug or alcohol at the time of examination. At the time of examination, এই phrase টা কিন্তু very important because it does not mean the survivor was not under the effect of the drug or alcohol at the time of assault. তুমি যখন পরীক্ষা করছো, she was not under the effect of alcohol or drug. Though there is evidence of ingestion, but she was not under the effect of drug or alcohol at the time of examination. Clear? Possibility number 2, there is also a history of drug or alcohol ingestion and the survivor is showing signs of inebriation by the drug or alcohol in the form of same smell of alcohol is coming, conjunctival congestion is present, pupillary dilatation is also present. এবার extra কি দেখতে পেলে? You will notice that there is sluggish reaction to light, slurred speech or incoherent speech, staggering gait, along with signs suggestive of muscular incoordination is also present. So what will be your opinion? Signs suggestive of ingestion of alcohol or drug and the subject is under the influence of the drug or alcohol at the time of examination. আগেরটায় কি বলেছিলাম? Signs of ingestion is present but not under the effect of alcohol or drug. এখানে আমরা বললাম signs suggestive of ingestion and subject is under the effect of the particular drug or alcohol at the time of examination. And final opinion will be given after receipt of report from state FSL. But here you will mention the subject or the survivor is under the effect of the drug or alcohol at the time of examination. Clear? Situation number 3, history of drug or alcohol ingestion is present, but during examination there is no sign suggestive of inebriation by drug or alcohol. No smell is coming, no sign showing of effect of inebriation. তাহলে তোমার opinion কি হবে? At the time of examination, there is no sign suggestive that the subject is under the influence of alcohol or drug. At the time of examination, there is no sign suggestive of the subject is under the effect of any drug or alcohol. Final opinion will be given after receipt of report from state FSL. Clear? You can preserve urine, you can preserve blood for alcohol and drug estimation. তাহলে তিনটে সিচুয়েশন হতে পারে, একটা প্রত্যেকটা ক্ষেত্রে হিস্ট্রি আছে, খেয়েছে, একটাতে তুমি দেখতে পাচ্ছ প্রেজেন্ট ইনজেকশনের সাইন্স প্রেজেন্ট রয়েছে বাট নট আন্ডার দ্য এফেক্ট অফ ড্রাগ অর অ্যালকোহল, আর একটাতে আন্ডার দ্য এফেক্ট অফ ড্রাগ অর অ্যালকোহল, একটাতে তুমি কিছুই পাচ্ছ না, নো সাইন্স অফ ইনজেকশন। লেট কেসে তুমি কি পাবে? অ্যালকোহলের গন্ধ পাবে, কিছুই পাবে না, but you cannot rule out the possibility of ingestion. So at the time of examination, no sign suggestive of subject is under the influence of any drug or alcohol. Clear? Next, detection or comment on pregnancy. Appropriate test can be done to detect pregnancy. For example, you can do for a urine for pregnancy test, or you can go for an USG examination, or you can refer your gynecologist friend of your hospital for detection of any pregnancy, also required for if any emergency contraception. So referral to the gynecology for emergency contraception or detection of pregnancy. After giving your opinion, always refer the survivor to the OPD of psychiatry for counseling and support. This is must. In cases of survivor, you should refer the case to the Department of Psychiatry for counseling and support. Gynecology and obstetrics to rule out pregnancy if it is not ruled out by you, and also required for any possibility of emergency contraception. তাই সময় গাইনিতে পাঠাতে হচ্ছে। আর হচ্ছে তোমায় কোথায় পাঠাতে হবে? Also to the skin and venereal disease, that means Department of Dermatology, to rule out any sexually transmitted infection. If it is present, then its treatment, or for prophylaxis against sexually transmitted infection following an alleged sexual intercourse or assault. তাহলে তোমায় কোথায় কোথায় পাঠাতে হচ্ছে? After giving your opinion, you should refer the survivor to the Department of Psychiatry for counseling and support, Department of Gynecology and Obstetrics for emergency contraception or to detect pregnancy, and to the Department of Dermatology for detection of any sexually transmitted infection. If it is present, then for its treatment, or if required for prophylaxis against the sexually transmitted infection. Clear? This is all about the examination, sample collection, and framing opinion. Now comes to the final opinion. That means after getting the result from the laboratory, that is from FSL, কি আসবে? For example, genital injury is present, physical injury present ছিল, FSL report comes positive for semen. তাহলে ওখানে যেটা বলেছিলাম there is signs suggestive of vaginal penetration, এখানে সেটাই হয়ে যাবে there are signs suggestive of vaginal intercourse. বাকিটা একই থাকবে, possibility of sexual violence or sexual assault cannot be ruled out. Similarly, genital injury present ছিল, physical injury absent, the FSL report comes positive for semen. Again the same, there are signs suggestive of vaginal intercourse instead of vaginal penetration. এখানে আমরা intercourse কথাটা লিখে দেব। Genital injury present, genital injury absent, physical injury present, reports comes positive for semen. The opinion is same, there are signs suggestive of forceful vaginal intercourse. Clear? Are genital injury absent, physical injury absent, semen positive, or plus minus drug or alcohol. So there are signs suggestive of vaginal or anal intercourse যেহেতু semen is positive, এবার যদি drug or alcohol positive আসে তাহলে under the influence of drug or alcohol. Clear? Easy. So there are signs suggestive of vaginal or anal intercourse. এখানে ফোর্স এর কথা আমরা কিছু বলছি না, আর যদি ড্রাগ আর অ্যালকোহল পজিটিভ আসে আন্ডার দ্য ইনফ্লুয়েন্স অফ আ ড্রাগ অর অ্যালকোহল। সো দ্যাট উইল বি ইয়োর ফাইনাল ওপিনিয়ন। যদি তুমি সোয়াবস অ্যান্ড স্মিয়ার্স এর রিপোর্ট বা আদার পজিটিভ রেজাল্ট এফএসএল থেকে পাও তখন তুমি এটা দেবে, আদারওয়াইজ দ্য ওপিনিয়ন ইউ হ্যাভ গিভেন প্রিভিয়াসলি উইল স্ট্যান্ড। Last to finish the class with the topic that may come as a short note, that is rape trauma syndrome. Rape trauma syndrome. It is a psychological trauma and it is considered as a part of post-traumatic stress disorder. This rape trauma syndrome is actually a post-traumatic stress disorder marked by biological changes as well as psychological symptoms. And it is characterized by two phases. That is the phase of disorganization and phase of reorganization. Phase of disorganization. In this phase, the survivor will complain of occasional headache, GIT complaints, dizziness, chest pain or heaviness in the chest, emotional lability or imbalance, severe depression and intense feeling of guilt. And these symptoms may last from the moment following the sexual assault to 2 to 3 weeks. This phase of disorganization as a part of PTSD. Next is phase of reorganization. এই সময়টা the survivor is trying to live with the situation. Gradual adjustment is there. নিজেকে বাঁচার চেষ্টা করছে, সবার সাথে মেলামেশে আবার চেষ্টা করছে। So phase of reorganization. So gradual adjustment with the situation, but with occasional phobia and fear state. That means sometimes nightmares during sleep, avoidance of the thoughts and the feelings related with the assault. ওই ডিসকাশন গুলো করতে চাইছে না। And increased arousal in the form of difficulty in falling asleep or staying asleep and concentrating to a particular topic. So phase of reorganization, and it may last for a year. Now to establish the case as a rape trauma syndrome, the symptoms should last at least for 1 month and it should be accompanied by significant impairment of social, occupational, and other important areas of functioning. So the diagnostic criteria is that to establish the case as a rape trauma syndrome following the sexual assault, these symptoms should persist over 1 month and along with great impairment of social, occupational, and other important areas of functioning. And this is because of this phase of disorganization, there is late reporting of the cases to the police. Karon, you cannot expect a woman following the rape, she should immediately go to the police. Generally, a phase of disorganization স্টেজটার মধ্যে অ্যাডজাস্ট করাটা খুব কঠিন হয়ে পড়ে, যে তখন পুলিশের কাছে যাব, অ্যাসাইলেন্টকে সাজা দেব, এগুলো ইনসিগনিফিকেন্ট হয়ে ওঠে নিজের কাছে। So you cannot always expect a woman to go and report the case immediately following the act because of this phase of disorganization. But this is also responsible for loss of physical evidences and negative results on medical examination. So rape trauma syndrome. Treatment is obviously counseling and psychotherapy. Drug of choice is the SSRIs and cognitive behavior therapy. This is the most appropriate one for dealing with a case of post-traumatic stress disorder, that is cognitive behavior therapy. Support is very important from the society, from the family. Rape trauma syndrome may come as a short note. That's all for today's class. যদি কিছু অসুবিধা থাকে, you can ask me, but please try to understand the opinion framing portion because it is very important for your professional life. তোমাকে opinion লিখতেই হবে and you have to justify your opinion in the court of law. So these are my references again. Thank you for your patient hearing. Meet you in the next class. Have a great day.